In her next decade, Kristina Mattson wants to spend focused, joyful time raising her 3 children. Small accomplishments get her through her days. If she gets a minute to herself, she checks email. But if she gets more than a minute, she bakes. Kristina's piece is titled Prize Package.
On a Tuesday in July, a 34-year-old woman stood in line at a water park to pick up an inner tube for the lazy river ride. She held her husband's hand and cried. After 8 months of trying to conceive a baby, schedules were arranged so that we could attend the latest in a string of appointments to discuss our fertility. My husband, Chris, left the clinic with a blue ribbon of sorts. The doc said, "Your motility is fine." Super swimmers, we joked. I, however, was barely able to qualify for the perfunctory "thanks for participating" sticker. After a lot of talk about my aged hormone levels and diminished egg reserves, we were told that we had less than a 5% chance of conceiving a child in any setting, including IVF. So we went to the hospital courtyard and sat on a reflection bench. Butterflies landed on the flowers and the concrete planters and flitted around us, seemingly to remind me that life is fleeting, and also so that I could berate myself over the fact that I didn't give my baby a cocoon sooner so that it could blossom into a beautiful thing. Eventually, we decided to take the day off of work and go to the water park. I don't know why we went. I think all that crying in the fetal position, hoping for a fetus, made me yearn for a carefree afternoon. And somehow, I thought a swimsuit wedgie, anxiety over unshaved parts, and surrounding myself with kids would give me that. It did not. When I think of that day at the water park, I imagine myself as Smokey Robinson singing "The Tracks of My Tears." For days after that, I would lie in bed, kicking myself, asking, why did I wait so long? We've been married for 5 years. My mother began menopause early at age 37 and discovered breast cancer at age 40. I endured the cramps of endometriosis since receiving my driver's permit. Still, like many in my generation, I kept my eyes on the prize, the one for the heavyweight champ, where you get to be the biggest and the best. Casual boyfriends and temporary homes, socially responsible jobs that barely paid enough to afford my diet of apples and Colby cheese. Later, a law degree and lucrative jobs that required wool suits and teeth-grinding deadlines. I trained for and expected the prize that included all of that and a baby that would attend the infant room at the city's best Montessori school. It was only when the doctor said that I couldn't have a baby that I realized, while crying all over Chris's chest, waiting for a float on the lazy river, that for me, the only thing I wanted was the baby. It wasn't part of a prize package that came with a career and a ceramic dog like a Wheel of Fortune winner. My eyes and heart burned for that kid and the lost experience of pregnancy. I felt selfish and cheated all at once. And then, by some miracle of a higher power or appropriate ratio of fairy dust to still viable egg, I was granted reprieve. I suspected I was pregnant after I fell down 4 concrete stairs in the parking garage on my way to work, 10 days after I was labeled infertile. I felt very jittery and wondered, without reason, if I were pregnant. It was my first experience with mother's intuition, And it led me to take the home pregnancy test that would validate all of my selfish choices since age 18 and bring me an enormous sense of joy and hope for my future. I would have the baby. I had won. Ironically, my first daughter was conceived on the Clomid challenge, the very test that told me I was too old for pregnancy. In those moments, I was granted another hall pass in life, those merciful things that let you slide by even if you don't deserve it. Like when the junior high Spanish teacher forgets to ask for the homework that you only just began to scribble out before class began. Or in college, the late period that finally came. Among all the other trials of life, the universe opened up to hold and caress me that day, and I am forever grateful.